Okay, this is solving two-step inequalities for Chapter 8, pre-AP only. Stop 2, pit stop D. So guys, solving two-step inequalities, we're going to follow the exact same rules as we did for two-step equations, and then our same rules for our inequality symbols, just like we have on the past couple stops. Okay, so 5y minus 7 is less than or equal to 23, so we're going to cut it in half. Remember, I want to get rid, wherever my variable is, I want to get rid of the addition or subtraction first. So we're going to add 7 to both sides. So I'm left with 5y is less than or equal to 23 plus 7 is 30. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 5 in order to isolate my y. So I've got y, and then 30 divided by 5 is 6. Did I multiply or divide by a negative number? No, I did not. That is a positive 5, so I don't need to flip any inequality symbol, so I'm just going to copy it over again. So I've got y is less than or equal to positive 6. So if I come over here and I graph that, I'm going to have a circle on 6. Its y is less than or equal to, so it could equal 6, and I want everything less than that, so everything to the left on the number line. Remember, your arrow and your inequality point the same direction. Example number 2, cut it in half. Here's my variable, so I want to make this minus 3 go away. So I'm going to add 3 to both sides. So I'm left with 2x. It's greater than 13 plus 3 is 16. And I'm going to isolate my x, so divide both sides by 2. X and 16 divided by 2 is 8. I did not multiply or divide by a negative number. That's a positive 2, so my sign or my symbol stays the same. So x is greater than 8. So I'm going to put my circle on 8. I want everything greater than 8, so that does not include the number 8, so it's an open circle. And everything greater than that would be to the right. Example number 3. W divided by negative 6 minus 5 is greater than or equal to negative 6. So let's cut it in half. My variable's on this side, so let's get rid of this subtraction. So let's add 5 to both sides. My 5's cancel. W over negative 6 is greater than or equal to, and then negative 6 plus 5. Well, my signs are different, so I'm going to take the difference, and I have more negatives. Okay. Cut it in half. Isolate the variable. The opposite of dividing by negative 6 is multiplying by negative 6. So I'm going to do that to both sides. My 6's cancel. I'm left with a W. And negative 1 times negative 6 is positive 6. And since I multiplied by a negative number, I'm going to flip this inequality symbol. So instead of greater than or equal to, it's going to become less than or equal to. Okay, let's come over here and graph that. I need a circle on 6. I want W is less than or equal to 6, so it could equal 6, so we're going to close it in. And I want everything less than that, so to the left. Number 4, we're going to cut it in half. Here's my variable, so let's make this addition go away. Minus 1, minus 1. My 1's cancel. Negative 5x. And 6 minus 1 is 5. Cut it in half. Opposite of multiplying by negative 5 is dividing by negative 5. My negative 5's cancel. I'm left with x, and 5 divided by negative 5 is negative 1. And since I divided by a negative number, I'm going to reverse my inequality symbol. So instead of less than, it's going to become greater than. So x is greater than -1. So my circle on -1. Since it's greater than -1, it does not include that number. So I want everything bigger than -1. Example number 5. Cut it in half. Here's my variable, so I'm going to get rid of this +6 over here. So subtract 6 from both sides. Okay, so my 6's cancel. I've got m over 2, and then 8 minus 6 is 2. Cut it in half. Opposite of dividing by 2 is multiplying by 2, so we're going to multiply both sides by 2. My 2's cancel. I'm left with m. 2 times 2 is 4. I'm multiplied by a positive number, so since it's positive, I don't need to flip anything, so I'm just going to bring that inequality symbol down. So I've got m is greater than or equal to 4. So I've got a circle on 4. It's greater than or equal to, so it could equal 4, so I'm going to close it in, and I want everything greater than that. And last example. -2/3 times g minus 10 is greater than -8. So we're going to cut it in half. Here's my variable, so let's get rid of this subtraction. So +10 to both sides. My 10's cancel. I've got -2/3 g. -8 plus 10. Well, my signs are different, so I'm going to take the difference. That would be 2, and I have more positive, so +2. Now let's cut it in half again. The opposite of multiplying, let's isolate the variable. So the opposite of multiplying by -2/3 is dividing by -2/3. My 2/3 cancel. I'm left with g. This is fraction, so I'm going to put a 1 under the 2, and then I'm going to keep, change, flip. Because when you divide fractions, you keep, change, flip. So keep, change, flip. It'd be -3 over 2 now. It doesn't really matter which number you put the negative with, just so you know. Top times top, bottom times bottom. 2 times -3 is -6, and 1 times 2 is 2. -6 divided by 2 is -3. So I've got a -3. And I did divide by a -2/3. So since I divided by a negative number, I'm going to flip that inequality symbol. So instead of greater than, now it's less than. So I've got g is less than -3. So I'm going to put a circle on -3. And I want everything less than -3, so it doesn't include that number, so I'm going to leave it open. And everything less than will be to the left. Less than left. Both start with L. Okay? So this is how you solve and graph two-step inequalities. Notice it's almost identical to two-step equations, and you follow the exact same rules to figure out your inequality symbols.